initiative, or rather a planning intervention of a development corridor struck my interest. I then decided to take my time and effort to look into development corridors, and I do this now, particularly in my honors year, where I am researching a particular corridor called Mangwen Corridor in Limpopo province. I was particularly compelled by the municipality under which this development is found and governed. This formed the basis of the inspiration to look into the municipality planning thinking. When I had an opportunity to do a podcast in my advanced planning thought course, I decided to look into municipal planning thinking. I therefore took the time and effort to speak to different people and have conversations to try and understand the planning thinking that goes into municipalities, particularly municipalities that often find themselves having to govern, or rather having to manage land uses for both what has been termed the rural and urban areas. I find the context of these municipalities compelling, from their nuanced expressions of problems and the solutions that are suggested to them. Planners and politicians having been found in a situation where they have to address and respond to the context of these municipalities, having to question the consciousness in planning thinking in these municipalities. And now finally in this episode, I look at the purchase of being affected by the simple existence of such municipalities and the dynamics that are embedded in them. I talked to 3 of my colleagues, asking them about the purchase that they feel that they had to pay because of the existence of such municipalities and the dynamics that come with them. Let's take a listen.
Like the purchase that we had to pay was generally being fed, being sidelined actually as a planner, or actually in the planning discipline. Because as you know now, the planning discipline is not really respected or even understood in the context of this South Africa that uses actually market as a development or as an enabler. So we are being sidelined, and basically you now get to question certain stuff, as in whether your discipline, does it have any importance? Can you actually help, or can you actually integrate yourself or your discipline into the contemporary status of the world, or stuff like that? That's the purchase that we have to pay. However, yes, there are ways to circumvent it. However, there's literally no infrastructure or no basis to set these ways, because these ways are helpful for other people, other developing nations, but ours, so it's not working for us. So the purchase that we had to pay is us being sidelined. Yeah.
I feel like our government, they are planning their development. Their planning, their national development planning is not working. How so? They would say maybe we want to build 200,000 houses when we have a population of 5 million people, and then it takes them 10 years to do that, and after 10 years we have now what, 10 million people. So it's like whatever the purchase, like your question was like the purchase price that we have to pay, it will never be paid. How? It's something that will just be there forever, because as much as they think they are solving whatever they are solving, they solve it after a long time when like it's no longer relevant. You get it? Like I feel like if they were to align their planning with what is happening on the ground, like okay, we have 10,000 kids going to school this year. Maybe after 10 years, these kids would be in the town planning. Maybe after 10 years, these kids would be in the engineering field. We need to plan. I mean, for these kids, like when they finish, where are they gonna work? You understand? So that happens in so many fields. I know I'm actually answering your question based on the career side of things, but then It just shows you how our government's planning never really works. Their national development planning doesn't align with the growth of population and everything. And that would eventually lead to this high unemployment rate we have today. Why? Because though they are planning or though they think they are doing something, whatever they're doing is not working since it doesn't align with what is happening on the ground. It's actually like we have two different. What what way can I use to explain it much better? It's like we have two parties that are supposed to be working together for a greater good of each other, or for one goal, but then it doesn't really get there because why? Like they don't get to communicate with the lower ground to come to an agreement to say, okay, if you guys at the local government, this is what you want to do, how can we help you as the parliament? So it just shows how they don't communicate. Each and every, I mean,
looking at the local government, there are elections each and every 5 years, and those elections are Hamsani nama elections of the national of the national government. So that kukodwa kukwenza ukuthi kube nama-interest ahlukile, and also nama opinions ahlukile in terms of like development or whatever that needs to happen. So it's affecta kanjani-ke thina as abantu abahlala in local governance, this change of political powers, or also coalition, and also and in terms of change sibheka ukuthi sinika this political party amandla, and then when we vote siwancisha amandla lawo political party by voting for amanye ama-party. That means that izinto ey'fana nama-priorities, they will change. So thina as umphakathi we suffer in terms of like service delivery, because uzothi uyaya kamasipala, ufike kamasipala bekutshela ukuthi actually lama-priorities ekade ekhona, it was because of this party, and manje ngoba sekufana le-party nathi we have set ama-priorities 8, but they have to be in line with ama-priorities that was set by the previous party ekadeyenzekile. And then when it comes to corruption, coalition government, they change ama-leaders each and every time. So that very sicindezelo as umphakathi when it comes to service delivery again, but at the same time they want us to pay ama-rate, of which ayikho ibhalansi lapho, because ngithola ukuthi sengispenda more than just ukubekezela, but also I put money in it.